manufacture pass rush. No, you want it organically. You want those guys up front that are going to be able to get at it. Bring in Pat O'Connor. Let's see what he's got. He's a great story, kid out of Eastern Michigan. I think everybody knows his background. But let's face it, Mac, there were some people out there that if I may speak frankly, my concern was, okay, are we going to get that pass rush going? And when Kaminsky goes down, I've heard a lot of people in the last day, I'm not sounding any alarms, and please don't misconstrue, we went from a 13-14 to a 9-8 team. No, but I think it's easier to let a pass rush come as opposed to doing the whole manufacturing thing. But, Mac, that's where we're at right now. We'll see if he can fill the void. That's going to be an interesting question moving forward.
Yeah, sorry, that was me. We get the sound all figured out, Spenny. I was just using sign language, so I was flipping a few people off just to make sure that they work. But it looks like we're back now. Everybody, welcome. Premier Pet Supply, that's where we're at. But, yeah, Sean, when we're talking about – and I think anything on defense, right?
Yep.
Anything on defense. We touched on yesterday about we hear from former championships backs and Keith Talil, guys who are respected of what's to be expected from the secondary. But it's the way that it's organically, and I think that it's organically put together through work.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this, at the end of the day, work is the primal key to what makes this organization go, and they're going into work. So I'm excited. I mean, you never want to see guys go down, and obviously there's a big void to fill in Kaminsky, but they've done their due diligence and next guy up. So organically, we will figure it out. Again, I think that this Detroit Lions team, especially on defense organically, will show us something that we haven't seen.
I think so, too. I really do.
And that's through work. And if you're organically are through hard work and through training camp and being physical this early in camp, then I think you have the right ingredients.
I want them to get after the quarterback. And when I hear somebody say, well, we can manufacture a pass rush, no, I want to organically get after it. The guys up front are going to wreak havoc. Now, Aiden's going to wreak havoc, but I think it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out this is a situation where the more help he can get up front, the better off everybody's life will be. So, you know what? You go collect those pieces. It's like, you know what, Mac? You collect pieces in the secondary, you collect pieces up front. If O'Connor can be a guy that does that, that's fantastic. But, of course, we got our boys here. We got Justin and Spenny here. Spenny, I want to ask you, how big of a concern already was this? Forget about the front seven, the front four. How big of a concern was this team heading into the offseason? And has that concern grown to you?
You look at it, and they added Marcus Davenport to kind of be that piece opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. You add DJ Reader to give you that oomph up the middle. But I think the biggest addition to this team is going to be Terrell Williams, the new defensive line coach they added, because we know one thing about Dan Campbell. If it's not working out for your position group, for that coach, he's out of here.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're Anthony Lynn, if you're Aubrey Pleasant, if you're Dre Bly, if you're John Scott Jr. If you don't produce, you're not going to be here anymore. And they got rid of John Scott Jr., added Terrell Williams, who is thought of as the best defensive line coach in the NFL from what he did in Miami and Tennessee. I'm really excited. I think they'll be able to make things happen, especially with the additions they made.
I want more from the edge. I like the interior. I think we've liked the interior. I could say that past tense. Mac, I want more from the edge, and you want more from our friends at Premier Pet Supply Livonia.
Well, no, absolutely. Just looking in the chat, DNCANT, yes, well, here's the rabbit food that you could absolutely have, just like we're talking about the pass rush. So Spenny brings up a great point. And I've said this all along, right? And when we talk about Dan Campbell, it's putting all his coaches. These are ex-players. These are guys that have pedigree and work ethic that have come in. He mentioned Terrell Williams, who is an addition, right? Along with, like you said, the DJ Reader, who, look at what he did in Cincinnati and making Hendrickson, their linebacker, one of the elite, and got him a paycheck. So can he open up our linebackers? We haven't talked about our linebackers. Mm-hmm. We're talking about our line, and we're talking about our DBs. But obviously, I expect in every facet of our defense to be better.
Yep.
Right? I expect that what we're hearing about the defensive backs in the secondary will give that half a second longer for the guys up front. We haven't mentioned Aleem McNeil, who continues to improve and be better. He's only with the experience of Reeder. You mentioned Davenport and stuff. I know we lost Kaminsky, but it's next guy's up. What's that Canadian kid's name that
Matthew
won?
Betts.
Yep.
So it's what we talked about yesterday, Sean, when we were talking about looking at the Lions and looking at the Tigers and looking at how they're being put together. This team from Brad Holmes putting this team together, yes, drafts guys, they hit, they play, gets them right in. But what he's also done is solidified not only in free agency but picking up other guys. The biggest question yesterday, and we haven't talked about either, kicking. Bagley's done, whatever like this. But, again, is anybody upset because you got Jake Bates that absolutely kicks the eyes out of it, and we saw him with the Michigan Panthers? There's one thing about having something in your backyard or whatever and recognizing talent. The Detroit Lions did that and didn't let this guy get out of the city.
You bring up such a great point because I think this goes hand in hand with what we were saying yesterday. What Scott Harris doesn't have yet, Brad Holmes has a ton of, and that's credit line. If something goes down, I don't know about you, anybody else out there, if you got a beef with Brad Holmes, I'd love to hear it. Because Brad Holmes' credit line is sky high right now.
Yes.
I buy into Brad Holmes. If there's an issue with this roster, there is no doubt in my mind, on the heels of what you just said, that Brad Holmes can and will address that. And more often than not, it's going to be the right move. And I think that's where we're at right now when you compare that to the Scott Harris has no
Sean,
credit line.
I'll even go deeper. And this is for all you people out there that say I can't get Steve Eiserman's balls off my chin or anything like that, is that if I'm a betting man, the guy that's doing the greatest job in this city for the GM right now with what he's got is Brad Holmes. That's where all the money goes to. That's where he gets that. Now, I believe in what Steve Eiserman's building, and I see because I've seen the blueprints to whatever and how it was done before, but it's a process. But if you want to have question marks and take heed to what everybody else says, go ahead. I will take that. That Brad Holmes is the easiest return on money. That's Berkshire Hathaway, right? He's Rupert Murdoch right now as far as in the city when it goes to because what he touches and what he does. But that's sticking to the game plan. Now forget it, they're apples and oranges and whatever else, but that is absolute facts right now. So props to Brad Holmes.
Well, and I think, and I'm not being disrespectful when I say this, but there are a lot of people out there that just says, if fill in the blank name is the general manager of my team or the manager of my team or the coach of my team. I love him and he's one of ours. And I just don't work that way. Me personally, you earn trust, okay? That isn't just given. You earn trust. So if, God forbid, an injury happens, if, God forbid, the season doesn't turn out the way that we did, it's all good. This guy has our back. He has the best interests of this team in mind, and clearly he's got a track record there. And I think that's part of what we're going through to go back with Scott Harris right now. Well, I know a lot of people are just going to go, yay, Scott Harris, and put We Heart Scott Harris, signs up or T-shirts up, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, to me, you have to earn that. You have to earn that trust. And Scott Harris hasn't had that credit line yet. I'm going to say it again. If you don't trust Brad Holmes, based on where this team has gone from 2021 till now, you aren't paying attention. That's not Brad Holmes' fault. That's your fault.
For sure. And speaking of credit line, my credit just got doubled, so I might have to get some protection, D-Mac. Where can I get that from?
Oh, you're going to always get protection. There's only one place to go. That's Guardian Alarm. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians who take the time to recommend security and automated solutions specific to your needs. All Guardian wants you to do is call the number today, 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed, but I need need you to call the number, 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people, your safety and security. Deserve technology has been proven to work and people have been proven to care. Business pleasure, Guardian doesn't care. They just want you to call the number, 1-800.
Stay out of having any other Super Bowl aspirations, any other team other than the Detroit Lions, because we're winning.
Absolutely. Guardian Alarm Look Security Experts. Tell them Big D Energy we sent you.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit.
Yummy.
They've got their delicious hand-battered, hand-breaded chicken tenders, the New York-style pizza, and the best biscuits in the game. They just opened a location in Madison Heights, so if you want to find one near you, go to Sorokis.com. Soroki's, now that's crispy.
All right, welcome back in Premier Pet Supply in Livonia. You know, one of the store managers in here, Mac, I hope I'm not embarrassing him, but former goaltender at Livonia Churchill, pretty damn good one, Bryant Riley, just came up and said hello. We appreciate that. All right, I wanted to move on to something else, but Justin is in the house, okay? Justin just informed me of something. Now, Justin, did you see this, or this was a chat in
from Tammy, and she's a very
trusted source.
Tammy,
Are we talking about what the NHL Network said?
Yeah, I want to hear this. What went down?
Well, I was just reading. I didn't see the NHL Network, but paraphrasing what Tammy said is that I don't know. See, I don't like to speculate on this, Jesus, because I would love to find out who said it. So, Tammy, if you could tell me who was the person on the NHL Network that said they were doing grades or whatever like that, and they gave Steve Yzerman a C-.
Based on what?
Which for the Justin Hall signing and whatever like this, which no GM's going to ever be 100% or whatever like this, but I don't understand the context. That's all it is, and so that's why I didn't play into it to whatever. If we find out, Justin, if you find out more context, either from Tammy or from the NHL Network, and it was just, speculation to whatever else. I mean, if you're not on the inside or if you're not here, you haven't paid attention the past 7-8 years of the process of what had to be done, of getting the books right, of getting, different contracts off, of drafting, of doing it the way that it has, then I can't help you. If you just look at it from, like outside and go, oh, what do the Red Wings do? Oh, C-. Okay. Like that's why I don't want to comment on anything hockey until there's substance. Didn't somebody call you from up north that said it's nice to hear some guys that know something about the game?
The coach at Nogany.
So
that's exactly.
I mean,
it.
the
Shout out to the
apathy I have
Miners.
for the Tigers, I have to have it too for hockey talk when it's not going to go anywhere, right? Like there's no I said to Tammy, don't fall into the trap.
You know what, though?
But here's the thing. Here's where the conversation goes, right? Who's the heat on this year, if there's heat on anybody? There's no heat on Steve Yzerman.
None.
There never is until somebody, again, I will say it every day, tell me who is the guy better equipped to build this. Now, if you want to say Derek Lalonde's on the hot seat to whatever, I said that last year. Has anybody ever not heard me say that Derek Lalonde is the right guy for the job as long as Steve Yzerman says he is? And if there isn't acceleration to the team, to the system, to the coaching, then he will not be the right guy, right? Do I think Derek Lalonde could win a cup here? Yes, I think he could win a cup here. Do I think that, like, if I was a betting man right now to the process because of how they're building this, that he's going to get the opportunity because playoff team, progress, stuff like this. But if not, that's up to Steve Yzerman. And would he make a coaching change? Absolutely, if it's better for this team, right? If everybody wants to say, well, Lalonde's here, you know, it was Blashill to hand to Lalonde to put the X's and O's in place, and then, you know, it was always, remember, it was Gerard. We need a Gerard Gallant. We need a Tortorella. We need a this.
It's not been his MO.
You will get the right guy for the job, right? Look at, and to me,
Sergei's coming home.
What's that?
Sergei's coming home.
Well, you know what? Maybe you're like, there's options. There's like, but that's not a now issue, right?
No.
Right. To your point, Spenny. Yes, if there's a down the road futures bet, there's a lot worse futures bet than putting money on Sergei Fedorov being a coach of the Wings in a couple years.
I know it frustrates people, Mac, and you hear it probably on a daily basis. I appreciate the fact that Steve Yzerman keeps his cards so close to the vest. I love it. I think it's great. So what do you do? What do you do? If you try to figure out what Steve Yzerman's going to do, you know how you do it? You look at how things went down in Tampa. You look at the slow, methodical build. And that's exactly what this is. This isn't, again, about let's make our run. This is about let's have a long run, a run where you could win multiple cups like you saw in Detroit, like you saw in Tampa. So, again, what I do is I look at how he operated. And, okay, well, we had this goaltender. This was a filler until the guy got there. And even along the same signs, Spenny, you yelled out Sergei, okay? Let's look at Steve Yzerman's hiring history. All these people after Blash was gone, and I love Blash, by the way. Am I allowed to publicly say that?
Yeah. Oh,
Shout
so
out Blash. Love him. Love the guy. Just a wonderful human being. But with that being said, Mac, all these people saying Gerard Gallant, all these people saying Joel Quenneville, all these people saying these veteran names, all I can do is look at his hiring history. Steve Yzerman is a guy that has gone out and said, I'm going to give Darren McCarty a shot. He's hired first-time guys, whether it be Guy Boucher, whether it be John Cooper, whether it be Derek Lalonde. He's hired first-time guys. Now, that doesn't mean that that's going to be the same routine the next time around. But, Darren, I'm going to say it again, and I get it. I understand the frustration. I do. But there's a reason why a lot of these prospect ranking pool things. Justin and I were just talking about this. There's a reason that you've seen some teams jump over the Red Wings. Well, why is that? Because they've sucked more than the Red Wings, and they got top 5 picks. Steve Yzerman has had to do this without the benefit of those top 5 picks. Those top 5 picks, while not guarantees, okay, there is a guarantee that if a guy goes in the top 5, he might be better than a guy that doesn't go in the top 5. So that's what he's had to deal with. I had
Is it possible that a guy in the second round will do better than
Kucherov?
all guys in the first round?
Hi, Mr. Kucherov. Who found him? Any idea? Any idea who found Mr. Kucherov?
Just saying.
So, Mac, with that being said, I'm at a position right now with Steve Yzerman where it's like, stay the course, you know, and I don't have to say that. You know better than anybody he's going to stay the course. He's going to do what's in the best long-term interest of this franchise, period. That's just where we're at right now. All right, Bally returns to Xfinity. I I didn't have that problem.
Yeah.
I've been able to watch the Tigers, and I know we talked about the road to Apathyville yesterday and how for so many people you're just an exit away. Is that Chachi down there, by the way?
That's Chachi, yeah. Can we get Chachi on the desk?
Can you bring Chachi up here? More on the Tigers in a second.
Yeah, we got Darren McCarty. Who cares? We got Chachi coming on the desk pretty soon.
Yeah, Chachi is a tiger, right? Look at Chachi. What a beautiful cat. Oh, my goodness.
Little Chach.
Yeah, come out here, Premier Pet Supply, Livonia. Mac, we talked about Apathyville yesterday, and I know a lot of people are in Apathyville, and especially, look, let's be honest, once football starts up, I think a lot of people, I always use the analogy of a sports plate, right? I have a heavy heaping of college football on my plate. I love college football. I've been blessed to be a Heisman Trophy voter for about 15 years. Chachi helps me with my Heisman vote every single year. No doubt about that at Premier Pet Supply in Livonia. So I have a huge helping of college football on my plate. Then I have a big helping of the NFL. And then when hockey starts up, let's be honest, that's a giant portion of my plate. So I think for a lot of people out there, especially if the Tigers aren't doing well, they check out this time of year. That's just the way it is. But I can't tell you, and Spenny, I'll throw this at you, I can't tell you how many people have told me in the past couple months, oh, dude, it doesn't matter if I don't see the Tigers. I don't care if they're awful. I don't care if there's no hope. Mac, I'm like you. I love the Tigers.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the Tigers. Yeah. I'm gonna find a way to go to a game in L.A. or Milwaukee or get down to Comerica Park. I think all the people that have said, well, I'm glad they're not on, this team's a disaster, I have a feeling that changes when you have the option of watching them tonight.
Oh, for sure. And the thing for me is, like, my dad is a Detroit sports junkie. He watches every game of every team.
Shout out Danny Roxter.
And so he'll be in the garage now enjoying his cigar, enjoying his scotch, listening to the radio. Like that's what he is. He is a junkie about all things Detroit sports. So I told him yesterday, he didn't hear about it. When I got home, I was like, hey, Ballie's coming back. He's like, what? When? I was like, tomorrow. He's like, oh, sweet. So, yeah, for like I haven't watched the Tigers game since it happened. I haven't been able to, and I watch Tigers all the time.
Can I talk for our generation for a second, though? Like, do you know what was magical for us when we were kids?
I do.
And I know that he's going to agree with me. A Sunday afternoon, you're just screwing around. Boy, I came so close to the swear jar. You're just screwing around in your backyard, right? Maybe playing wiffle ball with your boys, having a barbecue, having that transistor radio on, listening to the Tigers.
Yeah.
That was
Ernie Harwell.
That was our youth,
and
dude.
I was always like, Sean, it was like, man, Ernie knows everybody. There's a dude from Marysville that caught a ball, and up in the UP, Munising. It was
Love Munising.
Dude, I believe it might have been you, or it might have been somebody else. Like, I think I was a Detroit Red Wing by the time that somebody told me. He just made those cities up.
It may have been me.
I think it may have been you.
It may have been me 30 years ago. Yeah.
I was like, worked.
But to your point, Spenny, like, do you know how grateful guys like he and I are? We didn't see the Tigers every day when we were kids. Mm-hmm. We were lucky. George and Al might be on once or twice a week. And good afternoon, everybody. Love George Kell. So, like, for me to have that option of watching them every day, even when they suck, I'm in.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be on my TV for a while.
But here's the thing: do people have gauges to their fandom for their sports teams?
I think so.
At different times,
I think so.
Where you can turn it up or turn it down. It's like the volume button or the air conditioning in the car. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, depending on what it is, to take it for. Like, you could turn a game on and just like. Know that they're not in it, but pay attention, like watch it bat. So see, that's what I mean. If I turn it in, I see Cole Keith up or Riley Green or whatever, like I'll watch.
I think the average
on the mound, must see.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think the average fan, this is my guess, once September hits, right before a certain game, that Sunday night game, I have a feeling a vast majority of fans are just going to check out. The Lions are going to own everybody's attention span. That's just the way it is.
That's not even a question.
They're going to own everybody's attention span. So
but they deserve. But here's the thing: they've earned it.
Oh, 100%.
100,000,000%.
I tell you, we went to a game last year, late September. You know what? I think it was Miggy's last weekend. and we were there with probably 550 of our closest friends, like at Comerica Park.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it was just a crappy crowd. I liked going. You know, normally I'm going to be out. I like going to high school football games. I do. I think it's as I've gotten older, man, going to some local high school on a Friday night's awesome. But to that point, Spenny, I think guys just checked out. There was too much going on in football season. Even the debacle that was happening in East Lansing last year, it was one of those things that if you're a Spartan fan,
it's a car crash.
You couldn't turn away.
Yeah, it's a car crash.
What's coming next, you know? And obviously the Michigan story was a fantastic story.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm excited for football this year. And, you know, if you want to look your best, if you got to go into football season, where are you going to go, D-Mac?
Only one place, and we know it. We love it. Lady Jane's Haircuts from Ben Watkins. Sit back, relax, let one of the talented stylists look you make and feel great. Maybe a hot leather neck massage or shave, whatever it is you need. Lady Jane's Haircuts from Ben Watkins anytime. It's wicked awesome.
BGCSM 3C Sports Conference is coming during NFL Draft Week, starting on April 24th. Special guests will include Jerome Bettis, Barry Sanders, Eddie George, Aleem McNeil, Calvin Johnson Jr., Sean H. Wilson, Cynthia Freeland, Adam Scheffner.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Feldman Chevrolet is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer since 1996. Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership close by. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you and catch Woodward Sports every other Tuesday at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. It's Feldman Automotive Group, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hi, how are you?
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Behind the scenes.
Yes.
We were just talking off camera.
By the way, can I say, I don't know if this makes anybody feel any better, okay? And Mac, if you want to know who I'm talking about, I will gleefully tell you. I had a general manager in the National Hockey League, not named Steve Yzerman, okay? A general manager in the National Hockey League told me, thank God Steve is in Detroit. And I kind of gave a quizzical look. Well, okay, what do you mean by that? And he said, there's going to be no pressure on him in Detroit. We all know that. It's not like management and ownership is going to say, Steve, you haven't done anything in 5 years, so you're out of here, okay? But this general manager, I bet if you think real hard, you can tell me, you'd be able to tell me who I'm talking about. This general manager basically said to me, it takes 5 years to get to the we're ready to compete level. His words, not mine. His words, not mine. A general manager, a current general manager in the National Hockey League. And his worry was, this is his worry. He goes, if Steve was in another town, I would worry that there would be pressure on him because the undertaking that he had. Because he's in Detroit, he's going to be safe. But he's not going to be safe from the people out there that think they should be walking away with Lord Stanley's chalice 5 years to the date. It doesn't work that way. Mac, those are his words. A general manager of another team in the National Hockey League talking about the predicament that Steve Yzerman walked into here in Detroit.
Yeah, because it's the invisible illness that people don't see, and it's called the salary cap, and it's called contract. And Neil sits here and tells you how the knot was so tied with contracts that he had to unwind it and either whatever else. If everybody wants to just sit on, but Justin Hall's contract, well, technically he's still here and it's not done yet to whatever, but as we say, nobody hits 100%. So the fact is, yes, he's in a, like, I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me who's the name that does it better or who else you'd want. Now, is there something because, when we look at the Tigers, when we look at the Red Wings that are owned by the same family and run by the same person, Chris Ilitch, Steve Yzerman, because of his pedigree, because of who he is, and exactly because it's Steve Yzerman in this organization, to what you said, has all the time to get it right. But he's not off the time frame of the 2010s, 20s, right? It takes time. And the extra years, to the people that want to say, well, it's been 7 years, is unwinding the knot.
Yep.
So it's to be competitive. Look at how long did it take the Floridas and the Tampas and you look at the Colorados who got there that are trying to do that. What you're not trying to be is the St. Louis's, right? And stuff like that are in and out of the playoffs. So yeah, he's the right guy for the job. It just takes and people that are in hockey see how he's playing the long game.
I don't even think
he's doing it the blue stock way instead of doing it the Bitcoin way.
Mac, I remember talking to you about this 4 years ago. So at least if anything, you can say I'm consistent. If you want to say I'm a consistent moron, we can have that conversation too. But I remember having this conversation with you 4 years ago. To me, Mac, the clock doesn't even start on Steve Yzerman until the start of the 24-25 season. You're 5 years in. Like that, honestly, you don't even start the clock yet. It starts when the season. Okay, let's see where this team is at. And I'm going to say it again. I know so many of you don't want to hear it, and I know Flannel Sam in particular is probably rolling his eyes, maybe even throwing something at his screen right now. But listen, if they don't make the playoffs this year, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you didn't take a huge step up. It doesn't mean that some of those pieces and integral pieces that are going to be part of this franchise in the next 5 to 10 to 15 years didn't take a step up in their maturation. It's amazing. So here's the trust thing again. Spenny brought this question up. Do you think that Chris Ilitch will go out and buy an impact bat in the season? And can I use the same line that we were talking about with Brad Holmes, that he has a huge credit line of? Like he maxed out his credit line, okay? Scott Harris, he's got nothing there. His card was declined when he tried to take some money out, all right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Does Chris Ilitch have any in his credit line? What would make me believe, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to Chris, I mean that, but what would make me believe, Spenny, that the light bulb's going to go on this offseason and Chris is going to go, I'm going to be just like my old man was. I'm going to go out and sign this guy and that guy and that guy.
There isn't anything that would tell you that. He went out there and in this offseason when we thought, 2 years ago, the Tigers, they made a jump. They outperformed. A.J. Hinch had the boys playing better than what their record showed. And you thought, okay, we can go out, we can pay for somebody to bring in here and be a piece to insulate Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson. And he went out there and he went cheap. And he got Mark Canha and Gio Urshela. And those aren't guys that make the difference. Those aren't guys that help you push to win a division. And this division was much better than everybody expected it to. Nobody expected the Royals and the Guardians to be what they are right now. But we needed a legitimate bat to put in the middle so your rookies and your young guys had someone ahead of them that you knew every day would come in, he'd give you a hit, he'd get on base and stuff like that, and they didn't have it. And I have no faith that Chris Ilitch is going to go out there and spend $100, $150, $200 million on a bat that can actually make a difference.
I'm at the point, Mac, where I'm going to say it again. And for the younger generation out there, you guys, look, Mr. Ilitch wasn't like that with the Tigers for a long time. Do you remember he signed Matt Moore from the A's? Do you remember that, Mac? This is early in your career. He signed this guy to a contract, and he got burned, and he got gun-shy. And then it was a few years before he went out and got another guy, and he made a play for Juan Gonzalez. And we know how that worked out. He was spurned. So that's why people around here, this is going back 20 years ago, when he brought Pudge Rodriguez on, after his heroics the previous fall, we were like, damn. And then you know what? Guillen comes in. and Ordonez comes in. And all of a sudden you start to see these pieces come in place. So I can't sit here, Mac. I don't have my crystal ball and where I can look at it and go, oh, my gosh, Tiger fans, you are not going to believe what I'm seeing. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is up until this point, Mac, I totally understand why anybody would be skeptical that Christopher's going to go out there and say, all right, signing spree, let's go.
There's no way. We talked about this yesterday about are we in the same position, buyers or sellers, next year at the deadline. We even said we were still sellers. So Scott Harris, even came out. They're not spending money until the core guys are here. So if the development of the younger guys speeds up, but I still think the minimum, you're not in this offseason, maybe not even the next offseason. Let's just hope that when the time comes that it's apparent that it is one bat or that one guy, that he does, right, what his dad did in the Pudge or the Miggy or whatever else to finish everything off. But I think they've shown their hand is that they're waiting for some of these young guys to go up. Like I said yesterday, let's see Sweeney in the lineup, and then I believe that that's what they're trying to do, get these young guys progressed.
The Darren McCarty summer tour continues. I've had more people than you can shake a stick at mention this to me, so I got to bring this up. Tell me about the Insane Rumble.
Oh, tonight?
Yeah,
IWR, Monroe.
People have hit me up going, I'm going to the Insane Rumble
Strasburg
tonight.
Road, I believe.
In Monroe.
Yeah, Monroe. I think 7 o'clock. What is it, the Insane Rumble?
The Insane Rumble.
30-man Rumble this time of year. And actually somebody says, why don't I coach? Because I enjoy life. And I don't live hockey's what I did, not who I am. And I'd rather spend it on the culture and with the fans. And part of being the fans is being in the 30-man Rumble tonight down in Monroe. Now, I leave it up to the boys, Tommy Vendetta, Malcolm Monroe III, the Pillars individually to collect the belts. I am not going there, yes, hear it, to win the championship. But I am going in there to hand out a couple D-Max Stoners.
There you go.
To a few guys and whatever like that. So we will see. It'll be, I'm going to form some alliances and allegiances before that. I got to see what the roster is, but it's going to be a proverbial shit show tonight.
Do you know who I would love to see in a 30-man Rumble? That guy.
Oh, Spenny?
Spenny, I
Sault
could see
Ste. Marie
just,
Spenny?
like, listen,
the Sioux's own Spenny?
The Greyhound himself, like the nicest guy on earth, but you can tell. Something lurks
Dude, he's
underneath.
got old school brawler little
you can tell looking at him.
He's got a Bruiser Brody in him a little bit, but I think he's got some Braun Breaker speed. Like boom, right out of nowhere, here comes a spear. Boom, Spenny over top.
Spenny, are you into it? I could see you in a 30-man Rumble. Just
I would do that in a heartbeat.
We got to get the heavy. We still haven't talked about it, but we got to get the heavies in the ring soon.
I would do that in a heartbeat. It was so much fun when we went to the Old Miami to watch. It was amazing. I would do that in a heartbeat.
I think it'd be fantastic. So if you're in the neighborhood, I want to give him a shout out because so many people were bringing it up. Insane Rumble tonight down in Monroe. What Mac's he's gonna give a few stunners. I think it's safe to say.
D-Mac stunners, not Stone Cold, because D-Mac punches, he doesn't kick, and then he rips your head off.
By the way, I also got to give you some love. For the people out there that are wondering Darren in hockey. Darren is one of the most active guys with the Red Wing alumni who are doing so many great things all over our area. And, Mac, it's been a blast to have a small part in the alumni series as well. You guys played the Bruins. Then you played the Rangers. There's a new one coming up.
Is it Toronto?
Toronto,
is that in April?
It is late February.
So
I've been doing those.
We'll keep an eye out to that. And to anybody who asks, listen, there's no men's league or beer league in the world that has the budget for Darren McCarty. But I'll do anything for charity, so you'll see me out there doing alumni stuff.
No, and let me tell you something, guys. Mac, you know this. When these guys, you get pro versus pro on the ice, it's kind of cute and funny for a couple minutes, and then those old competitive juices start flowing. And
last
it is
10 minutes,
it's a blast to watch. It really is. All right, Spenny, I know we got to take a break, talk a little lines when we come back. Where are we going?
We do. I'll tell you about where we're at right now, and that is Premier Pet Supply. Come out and join us, Premier Pet Supply, Livonia. This place, I know I'm grabbing some stuff for Holly on the way out. I see her right there. I'm going to grab her one of those duck heads. She's going to love that. Love my girl, Holly. If you love your pet, make sure you come to Premier Pet Supply. They are the best. Family-owned and operated for over 30 years. 60 different brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. Same-day local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com. And remember, we are out here in Livonia. Come join us and get some of these great deals. I'm looking around. These shelves are stocked to the T. Anything you could want, come out and grab it. Premier Pet Supply.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
If you want the best Woodward Sports merch imaginable, all you got to do is go to shop.woodwardsports.com. We've got the Tigers. We've got the Lions. We've got Campbell and Holmes. Welcome to Detroit. Golf merch, anything you need, shop.woodwardsports.com for the best Detroit sports wearables in the game.
Welcome back in once again at Premier Pet Supply in Livonia. He is Darren McCarty. I'm Sean Belegian sitting in for Neil Rule. I'm going to echo what my boy Spenny said. I am a dog owner. I have two right now. I've had dogs for the last 30 years of my life. Honestly, if there's a place that you want to take care of your dogs, because our dogs take care of us, make no mistake about that, make it this spot, Premier Pet Supply in Livonia. Something for every pet,
yes.
Literally, like legitimately.
For sure.
You were even looking at the bunny food over there, right?
Well, yeah, because DNCENT had asked, he said a comment, and he said, and the rabbit food. So they even have all that for all the rabbits.
You got rabbit food. You got turkey food. There's literally anything you could ever need.
By the way, you just brought up the T word. Like, do you guys, I don't know on your side of the town, out in Narnia, like the Northville area, the wild turkeys, it's insane.
You'll see a couple of them in North Warren walking around.
They're Mac, I don't know
I
if
see them on the golf course.
Right?
But you're right, more over in the Fenton, Brighton, South Lyon area.
It's incredible.
Not over on the other side.
I have never, in my lifetime, I had never seen wild turkeys. Like I said, I moved here to Livonia when I was 5. I've been out in Northville for 20 years. The last few years, dude, the wild turkeys, and I know you know a golf course out there in particular. You've had your golf outing out there.
Oh, Links Nova.
They're everywhere. Yeah. Dude, they are everywhere. So you want to take care of them, you can as well. All right, so this goes back to the trust issue. This has kind of been the theme of the day, and I don't think we meant it to be the theme of the day, but it has been the theme of the day. Mosley, Robertson, Rakestraw, all competing for the starting nickel spot. And I'm going to repeat what I said yesterday. You know what I love about Dan Campbell? He doesn't blow smoke. He's not going to sit there and tell you how great a unit's going to be. He's going to say things like, I like what I've seen so far, but I want to see this, and I want to see that, and I want to see how it translates on tape, and I want to see the ferociousness, etc., etc. Now, at this point, those three names, especially when you're talking about Brad Holmes at the helm, my level of concern, Spenny, is negative 5. I don't have any concern. I guess for me it'd be like, okay, which one is it?
Yeah.
But if these guys haven't shown you, Mac and Spenny, that they know what the heck they're doing and they know how to build a roster, again, that's your fault.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And you've got Brian Branch is moving the safety full-time is what it's going to be next year. Brian Branch is going to be your strong safety next year. So they're testing out different things at that nickel spot. And early returns is that Amik Robertson, the guy they brought in from the Raiders, is the lead in the clubhouse to play that nickel spot. But Ennis Rakeshaw, it's kind of like last year with Branch. This rookie has been forcing the hand of the coaching staff throughout camp because he's just been popping off, making plays, being physical, creating turnovers. It's like we have to get him on the field somehow, and so they're throwing him in contention with the other two vets to see if he can win that spot.
And, Mac, that's the situation. We were talking about this yesterday. Like it or not, most of these spots are already set. These guys know what they're going with. And I think sometimes people try to make drama where their drama isn't there. But you know from being in professional camps, every now and again there's that guy that maybe you didn't have even penciled in that comes in and goes, all this dude has done is come in and work.
I was that guy. When I made the roster, dude, I mean, you asked Scotty Bowman, at old Chicago Stadium, 5-on-5, me and Cam Russell twice in the middle of it, and he said, "Is like I cannot not have this. I don't know what it is, but I need it."
You were probably a year early, right?
I was probably but I knew. See, that's what I tell everybody out there, man. It's like it doesn't matter, and they have their plans. But go in there like Branch did, like Enos is doing or whatever, and you have your plan. Now, if it doesn't play out, but you've thrown everything out there, like I did everything I could do, right? And it was just one of these things that it was the perfect storm where Scotty Bowman was a new coach and he wanted to bring something in. I knew the role that I wanted to play, and it's being, the setup guy, the light guy for Proby or for whoever else with Joey down the road. So I knew my role and stuff, and yes, but I think in the whole scheme of things, if things didn't change and they didn't lose the year before to Toronto and stuff like that, where changes were made, it was just taking the availability. Same with Drapes. Drapes did the same thing. He was down in the minors until like November, but forced himself up. So to your point, yes, there is an idea, but all great coaches and GMs, those ideas can change when guys
100%.
Succeed. And it's all about who's going to be the next man up. And the fact, if they're competing this hard and you have a rookie and, because you have a veteran in Mosley that you don't know, that you in the back of your mind, you're probably, he's going to get hurt, right? So you have three guys right there competing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what also great competition inside your team is what happens.
Well, and you know what, Spenny, I think you bring up a great point. We all know how this town is. We love those guys that we can relate to, okay? We love those guys like Darren McCarty, although I tell anybody that, listen, he isn't the Cinderella story that some people have made him to be. I saw him in junior. The dude was a stud, okay? Could do a little bit of everything. But honestly, a guy like Ennis, that's the type of guy that Spenny, this town could fall in love with this guy. Just go out there and quote-unquote beat the odds. Nobody thought that you'd be here except for you, right? I mean, Justin, I hear you. That's the guy that all of a sudden, people are going to put a hug around him. All of a sudden, he's going to be in here with a sponsor type of thing. Hey, it's an Ennis Thursday talking to Darren McCarty and Neil Rule or Spenny, whatever the case may be. That's a dude that could get big here.
Spenny, is he this year's Malcolm? Is he like, and you were the first one on the Malcolm Rodriguez bandwagon because of the work ethic and because, he wasn't supposed to not only, be a starting linebacker, but also could the way that fans have fallen in love. And you look at what Malcolm's done, right? Started out starter, but now he's a backup, but he's an elite special teamer.
Yeah.
So fan favorite in that sort of way? Is that what you see out of Rakestraw?
He's definitely a fan favorite, but I would say he's more this year's Brian Branch.
Okay.
Because he is that second-round
pick. That's a big statement, dude.
It is. And I don't know if he's going to be on the same level of player as Brian, but second-round pick, should have been a first-round pick on everybody's board, has that chip on his shoulder. He's going to come in here, and the thing that popped was when he put the pads on, when they put the pads on, he started popping. He started being physical, jamming guys at the line, making them miss. And shout out to Easy Camp today. He was going one-on-one with J-Mo in drills. The first rep they had, J-Mo trucked him, ran right through him, made the catch. The second rep they had, and it slammed J-Mo to the ground. Like, they're going at it. They're going at it. They're scuffling.
I want that.
He is a guy that fans are going to love.
Check that in my veins, baby. I want that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Is he Mississippi? Where's
Missouri?
Missouri.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what else I want? I want J-Mo back on punts and kicks, damn it.
I don't.
I'm sorry. A guy like that, he's a weapon. Let him go be a weapon. Let him go be a weapon.
I'm gonna say no for now. Let him establish himself and get the confidence he can build into that. Sort of how they do it with Amon-Ra St. Brown right now when they sort of need it. I think that he could be back there at different times, but I don't want to hang him back there just because, Sean, number one is if he was full-time, my concern for injury, not at the wide receiver position, but in some goofy roll-up in a punt return.
He's too essential for this offense this year.
Can I tell you, though, especially with the kicking changes and everything, I just don't worry about it like I used to.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair.
I really – now, punts are different, okay? Since we're all being fair and nice to each other, punts are different. I mean, with the kick return stuff now, by the way, have you seen the onside kick changes and everything?
Yeah, you have to say you're going to do it. You can only do it if you're
when
down.
You're trailing in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you can't steal a possession with an onside punt or onside kick anymore.
Dude, I'm sorry. I love when a coach rolls out in the middle of the second quarter. Oh, we just kicked a field goal to go up 10-7, and dude rolls with an onside kick.
That's how Sean Payton won the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. It's just I think it's stupid. Now, hey, listen, I might be in the minority. I just think an explosive guy like that, you find a way to put the ball in his. Although I don't think we're going to have that problem this year.
Yeah, I don't either.
Not as in years gone by.
I don't think and here's to your argument: if you were having trouble finding him touches,
yes,
you might put him back there. I don't think you're going to have trouble finding him touches.
I don't think that's going to be the issue this year. I really don't.
But I think that, to your point, if he's ready, so that I think that they'll throw him in. As a wrench,
that's
what I'm saying, in a game or whatever like that. I wouldn't mind seeing, Williams, you'd throw the other team off.
You know what? I want to see J-Mo back there returning kicks. I want to see J-Mo back there returning kicks in the NFC Championship game, in the Super Bowl. Not during a regular season game in Chicago or against the Rams or anything like that. High leverage, especially with what it is now. If you kick it in the end zone, the offense gets it at the 35.
Yeah.
So put J-Mo back there to put the fear of God into that opposing team. First kickoff in the NFC Championship game, you got two returners back there. Make it Jamison Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs. Say, you're either kicking it to one of our studs or we're getting it at the 35. Make your choice.
Give him a takeoff strip as opposed to a landing strip. Let him pick up some speed. Like honestly, the pants come around my ankles just thinking about it. Like, I'm serious. Whoa.
I thought you were comparing 70s porn to, 2010 porn.
Jeez, so feet, man. No, I'm excited about that. All right, we were talking a little bit about defensive end. Lions bring in Pat O'Connor. Obviously, they're going to need somebody to fill the void. And for a lot of people, that was already a little bit of a concern heading into this season. Another guy that they're looking at. But first, let me tell you, so glad you could join us. Big D Energy here. Darren McCarty, I'm Sean Belegian, sitting in for Neil Rule. We're coming to you live. Great spot here on the mean streets of Livonia. 5 in Merriman area. Premier Pet Supply, Livonia, on Woodward Sports.
And let me tell you about Planet Fitness, because Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, full body workout in 30 minutes. All memberships include fitness training. If you want, you can upgrade to the Black Card, get use of all the amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, all that good stuff, as well as access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. For more information, go to planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
What a deal. Visit Dispo Dispensary today or disposhops.com. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
All right, welcome back in once again. Premier Pet Supply in Livonia, here on the mean streets of Livonia. Darren McCarty, Sean Belegian in for Neil Rule. You need something for your pets. I'm a member, Premier Pet Supply, 5 in Merriman here in Livonia. You have a tagline that you recently changed in case people are just joining us.
Absolutely. Everybody knows in life when things go bad, call Sam. But for your pets, whatever you need, call Steve. This is Steve. Steve,
guys,
welcome. Thank you.
Coming,
not
Darren.
only
Appreciate
for
you, Steve. How are you,
Absolutely.
all the support on Woodward Sports and stuff, but finally being able to come in here and there. You got, a couple. We were greeted by Fonzie and Chachi, a couple of the house cats and stuff like this. But talk about, is the Livonia location one of the originals? Is that why?
Yeah, we could call it an original 4.
Absolutely. How did pets give the viewers a little backstory about how Premier Pet Supply came to be?
So 1992, Uncle Ray, my business partner Mike, his uncle, opened the store and went off for quite a few years. Mike came in college age and kind of took over the show. Myself and a couple of the other business partners came on board years later, and Uncle Ray retired, and we kind of just started expanded from there.
So, I mean, it's such a, like, if you look around this store and how many different stores are.
We have 13 here in Metro Detroit.
See, 13 in Metro Detroit. But, I mean, Sean was talking about it earlier. Like, everything. Like, do you like, every animal, if I looked in the dictionary and looked up an animal that could be a pet, you probably have the food here?
I'm pretty sure we do. We got from dogs, cats to sugar gliders, turtles, fish, everything in between.
I know what I wanted to ask. What's the one thing that people, as I look, do it yourself wash and you got the nail trim in place and all this. What is one thing that people do not realize, or maybe that Premier Pet Supply does do when it comes to your pets, or that they think, they don't realize that they can get in here?
I think that's a great question. One of my favorite things is that we support local, and we have over 30 Michigan brands inside every single one of our stores. So there's a Michigan company that has cat litter, a slew of different companies that have dog treats. Some of them have dog chews. So we love to support that local aspect because they're the ones that are really keeping us afloat.
Premier Pet Supply leading the way since 1992. We are at the Livonia location. Mac, you're a big culture guy. As long as I've known you, you talk about culture. Yeah. Steve, you got a great culture here, and I'm going to tell you why.
Thank you.
Look at all your employees. Every one of your employees walks around with a smile.
That's awesome.
Now, I would love to get you credit, but it probably has something to do with we're talking about animals. But no, I mean, a great staff, people that genuinely look like they're happy to be here.
Yeah.
That counts for something, man.
I agree 100%. One of my most favorite things coming in every day is not seeing the customers' cards in the parking lot, is my staff and how loyal they are to us, for sure.
Yeah, it's a great thing. All right, well, what are some words of advice, especially when the weather gets warm like this? I was telling people yesterday, I have a couple of dogs. Fresh water. Get your fresh water out there. Keep the dogs as cool as possible. What's some advice you have to people on a hot day like this with their pets?
You know, really the best thing is keep them inside. Keep it the outdoor activity to a minimum. It's too hot. The humidity plays a huge factor in it. You know, their paws are bare on the ground as well, and that temperature on concrete and asphalt is completely different than what it feels to us having shoes on all the time. So you amplify that times 30-40% as in terms of a heat induction going on the ground, and it's just not good for them at all.
Yeah, make sure you come out here, all your pet needs, okay? I mean, really, as you said, you've been around since 1992. I think everybody knows, anybody that has a pet, this is the place to go. Tell people about some of the stuff you have maybe on sale, some of the stuff that maybe you can find here but you can't find elsewhere.
For sure. So this is our big customer appreciation week, 32nd anniversary. Everything's on sale. Food, litter, bird seeds, all 10% off. Everything else you can imagine that you want for your pets is 30% off. Toys, chews, treats, beds, carriers. Come in and take advantage of it. We have goodie bags while they last for everybody. The unique part is, you know, we have everything that you've seen at every pet store. And then there's an amplification of stuff that you have never seen, especially like those Michigan brands. There's a bunch of unique brands that refuse to do business with the big box retailers and only want to have their products in stores like ours. So we have all of that too. And some of these are the products that people rave about on TikTok and, you know, any form of social media, and they're like, where do I get it? And they're steering you to our stores, which we appreciate. And then that also gives us that unique ability that separates us out from all those big box places.
Yeah, isn't that great? There's a reason why the word premier is in the title.
Well, I think that's important. And when we're talking culture, you know, you look at the relationship that you struck with, you know, Woodward Sports. And so obviously, like, sports is a big part of what Premier Pet Supplies and the, you know, sports in this town. Obviously, being down at opening day and hanging out and doing that. But what about you guys and stuff, or you personally, as far as being a Detroit sports fan, looking forward to the Lions season?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've sold all the sports teams' gear for years. Michigan State, the Wings, the Lions, the Tigers, and then this influx of unbelievable gameplay by the Detroit Lions just spurred so much Lions gear going out the door. We have Aiden Hutchinson jerseys for dogs now.
That's awesome.
So
you know what?
Never had that
and that's
before.
a great, I think, here on the appreciation, right? On Appreciation Week for Premier Pet Supply, get into one of the 13 locations, not only to take advantage of the great discounts, but to get your pet ready for this upcoming football season. I think the Detroit Lions have deserved that on our aspect, and you know your pets are asking for it.
Hey, listen,
Might
every
have to get
single
the
one of our
princess
local
something.
teams deserves that for sure. The Wings, the Tigers, the Pistons, give them all the support we can, and make sure your pet follows that lead too.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I have a crazy puppy, like something broke in him. Like, seriously, I have no other way to say it. He's a schnoodle. He like, honestly, the way he walks around town, you think he's Cujo. You have any advice for me? Now, you see, now I'm making it personal for me because, honestly, and Mac, I don't think you met him yet.
No.
This little dog, he's maybe 10. He thinks he's 520 pounds. He thinks
the
he's
little
a tough.
ones usually do.
Oh,
Yeah.
is
Got a
he?
14-year-old Yorkie.
Any advice? I know that you guys are taking care of everything here at Premier Pet Supply. But any advice for me with this maniac?
Absolutely. So first, you want to make sure you set boundaries.
Okay.
So one of the most important ones is the bed. So does he sleep with you?
No.
Good. That's one of the first boundaries. If you got kind of a hyperactive dog or a disobedient dog, don't have them in the bed with you. They don't think it's your bed. They automatically think it's theirs, and you're sleeping with them. And then it could be other simple things, just like a reinforcement of the behaviors that you want. Another simple one, don't let the dog go out the door before you do. Make them sit and stay, and then you exit through the door. and let them follow through. And that reiterates you as being in charge, and they have to follow your lead and command.
You need to come in for doggy dad training.
Right, he's gonna be my dog whisperer.
Dude,
Steve, come on over, dude. Come on over.
I'm not a trainer, but I've watched plenty of trainers. We have an awesome training program here in the store with one of the local trainers. It's not a Premier Pet Supply affiliate, or it is affiliated Premier Pet Supply, but not actual Premier Pet Supply staff, and they are phenomenal, and they will get you dog right in shape real well.
I think at the end of the day, no matter what of owning any kind of animal, just to have, the local, but a place where you can pick up the phone and just call if you have a question to whatever else, or pop in and like you said, it's the atmosphere, it's the culture where it's like you're inviting. It's not like get in, get out, get your stuff and leave. It's sort of like, how can we enrich you and your pet's life?
Yeah, we take that really seriously. I appreciate that. We have most of our stores have certified pet nutritionists on staff. That's how serious we take all that. And we'll even pull stuff out of a shopping cart if we feel, based on what you're telling us for your needs or what solution you're looking for, if it's not the right thing, we're going to take it out of your basket and give you some better advice on what is. So
and that's a great thing, because I know, like, nutrition, or what am I feeding, my cat or my dog, to make sure that they're having, they're not suffering from, because it's the wrong food for them. Yeah. So that's it. Anytime there's assurance, or to know, I always say, don't tell me what, tell me who. So definitely let Premier Pet Supply be your who.
Yeah, this is the spot. Make sure you make a jaunt out here. Really, any of the locations, but we got a special place in our heart for this one, because great people like Steve are here, and smiling, happy people.
Livonia
Stevenson
Spartans.
All day.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
All day.
Look at that.
Can never, you know what I always say, you can take the kid out of Livonia, but you can't take Livonia out of the kid, baby.
I learned something new today.
Unfortunately.
I didn't know the streets here were mean, but hey.
Very mean.
We'll go with it.
Trust me. Premier Pet Supply, Livonia 5 in Merriman. Steve and a smiling staff. Can't thank you guys enough for having us out here,
appreciate
man.
you guys, too. Thank you so
much.
Really appreciate
it.
Some more lion chatter when we come back. Come out, say hello, pick up something for your pet while you're here as well. That's why we are here on Woodward Sports.
Yeah, now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance, make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. How do you do that? You call my buddy Mark today at Swiss Insurance, 313-530-1698, or go to SwissINS.com.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out PremierPetSupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? Well, you expand and offer more products to more people. Exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick and GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Ave just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Vroom.
Might help if I put on my headphones.
You don't need
No,
those.
look at my. He's got the turtle shirt. He's you see.
What up, Rick?
You see your guy with the turtle shirt out there?
That's Big Boogie.
All right,
Big
Big Boogie,
in the
what's
house,
up?
Rake in the house, all my guys in the house.
Yeah, you got Big Boogie?
Rake must be at work. He must be working right now on lunch because look at his hair. It's all matted down.
I have that turtle shirt.
He needs an excuse video from you, D-Mac. He told me that. You got to make him an excuse video.
Why don't you give it to him, Jesus?
I don't think I have the cachet that you have,
Okay,
D-Mac.
well, your self-awareness is on point today. You know, I would make up for the jelly comment yesterday. Just wanted to see if you come back to earth. I'm proud of you.
Dude, I still think your flow leads the league. I got to be honest with you. Come on, look at his flow. That is, I wish I had the balls
Jesus' flow,
to do that again.
he's got sick 90s flow right here.
Dude,
he's coming out of. He could have rocked the Bell Vegas Bulls jersey back in the late 80s.
Oh, Mac, I know I showed you a picture. Man, my flow was league leading like that at one point in time, and then I got too scared to do it. I couldn't sell it anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I wish I had the balls to do it again, though, man. That's just great flow.
I got to ask, because Spenny is a Sioux man, I got to ask, where would you think I would go if I was in the O?
Fuck, you're probably a Jenny.
You know, I was thinking Eastern.
Oshawa?
I was thinking Eastern as well.
Yeah.
I could see Oshawa, maybe even Ottawa. I could see him as a 67.
Yeah.
He'd have
Let's
a blast
see.
over the border.
Is he more? I got to hold on a second. But is he a killer guy? See, I don't think he's more like those peons in Oshawa with Lindros and stuff. He'd be ball-sucking Lindros like that, playing with the Rob Pearson and all those guys back in the day.
You know what, though? Like, I could see him being the guy that I told you, don't cross the border into Hull. I could see him. How many times have I told you, Justin, get your ass out of Hull? If you don't know what I'm talking
And we
about,
all got caught in Hall.
Take
it's going to
Max
18.
flat
18's
for
the
it.
drinking age. That's why.
Yeah, get your ass out of Hull. We don't need you in Hull. There's nothing good for you in Hull, right? So, yeah, he's definitely an Eastern Ontario guy.
Yeah.
You know what? See, now, Cornwall. I could see him a Cornwall Royal back in the day.
Him and Owen Nolan?
I could see that.
And boy, yeah, he'd be out there with Vanderbush trying to fight me all the time, and Crawford have him all wound up, chirping. Right? He'd just be chirps.
The funniest thing.
I'd sick Gretz on him.
I don't know if you saw it, but we had a viewer from Sault Ste. Marie hit Spenny up on Twitter. And he was like, oh, dude, I love that you and Matt gave the Greyhounds a shout-out. Like, Spenny, if I send you a jersey, would you sign it? So now Spenny is like an official member of the Greyhounds. He's going to sign a Greyhound jersey for a listener out there.
That's what I'd say.
He's a Greyhound.
When they ask him, you officially, unofficially. Yeah, officially, unofficially.
I saw that tweet. That thing was amazing.
See, now Let's Go Red Wings Party says you'd be an Erie Otter and stuff. Like, no, you can't bring Brampton Battalion, Erie, all these teams that were gone 30 years ago. My team's not even there anymore. Now it's in Hamilton and stuff. So
I could see him with Fogarty in Niagara, though. More Eastern Ontario. You're not a
You think
Western
he's got
Ontario
that crazy?
kid. Yeah.
You do?
Well, look at his eyes. There's something.
No.
There's something to miss there. There's something.
When I get going before the game, I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm going to go out there and I'm going to turtle someone like D-Mac, but I'm not going to just sit there and not, push back a little bit.
It's called compete.
Yeah, I think there's a compete level there.
I have a huge compete level, big level drive.
And some of those barns, don't get me started. We could geek out. Every time I walk into the Kitchener Odd, I don't know what it is about that building, Mac. I love it. Love the Kitchener Odd. Love that building. It's just
is Sudbury still?
I haven't been up there in years.
Yeah, I wonder if because they had that wolf coming out of the roof.
Do you remember that?
Holy crap!
You know what?
There's some goofy. There's some great Cornwall. Cornwall was a great building because they had the best hot dogs in the league.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. No, we played Sudbury, if you remember, when I was working for the Whalers. We played them in the OHL Championship.
Oh, that was fun.
Great.
Who is their top guys? Sudbury.
Their goaltender that year was an overager by the name of Sebastian Dom. And then they had Nolan's kid there. And, gosh, who was the other stuff? Oh, Foligno. Yeah, they had.
Wow.
They were just a gritty, hard-working team.
That's what they usually had.
Yeah,
you
there
remember,
wasn't a lot
like,
of
Terry
flash.
Chitteroni was the captain
Yeah.
back in my day. And we used to fight, but he was like he was a hockey player.
And then the youngest stall, I think, was a 16-year-old. I think at the time, boy, gosh, it's 17 years ago now. It's incredible how that works out.
So,
Spenny, you're going to get your Sioux jersey? I'm waiting for it.
I'm waiting for. Oh, I love it. I would love it.
Yeah, you're officially unofficial.
I just did some
Unofficially
shopping
official.
here at Premier Pet
What'd
Supply.
you get?
I picked up some stuff for my dog Holly. Love Holly. And
Multitask.
it is 30% off everything because of Customer Appreciation Week. I got her this little llama. It's a Durafuse because she rips stuff apart. So I got her this llama. Got her a couple dried duck heads. She's going to devour those. And then I had to get her this little lion.
Nice.
Little lion in honor of the season. It's got a squeaker in it. And bought all of that, like I said, 30% off. And they gave me this for free. This little goodie bag because it's Customer Appreciation Week. Comes with some food, some treats, and a big old bag of dentist sticks.
Love it.
So you guys got to come down to Premier Pet Supply. They're hooking it up. And like Sean said, friendly, knowledgeable staff. It's awesome. And they give you a little ticket you put in the raffle. They draw your ticket, you win even more free stuff.
What kind of dog is Holly?
Holly is a golden doodle. She's a big girl.
The old dude.
70-pounder. She's a big girl.
Yeah, the kids had one named Ash, black one.
See, you know what? It's funny. I have a schnoodle, which is a mix of Schnauzer and Poodle.
Yeah.
And he thinks that he's Holly's size. He's something broke in him. I'm not joking.
How old is he?
8 months now.
Oh, he's just a baby.
Oh, he thinks he's the baddest dude. He's turned into the alpha male though. Our older male who's almost 10 completely acquiesces to him.
Wow.
It is unbelievable. New sheriff in town. But you know what, Spenny, I'm going to say it again, and we thank Steve and everybody out here. When you look at people, when you walk in a place and everybody's smiling and looking like they have a good time, I'm sorry, I'm old school. I'm a customer relation guy. It's like doing this job. If we're doing this job and we're just bored, and why the hell would anybody want to watch? Man, I get to talk about sports with Darren McCarty and Spenny and Justin and whoever the case may be. Well, that's the same vibe I get when I walk into a store. If they're just sitting there going, "How can I help you?" Mm-hmm. I don't. Thanks anyway. They're cool. There's a cool vibe here.
Yeah, when I was a cook at Coney and Grand Trevor's Pie, people would come up to me and tip me as the cook in the back because I'll just be back there making their food, singing every song on the radio, just yelling and stuff. And, a nice old lady would walk up and be like, "Here's $5. You had a great – it was so funny watching you." And you got to love what you do. Yep. You got to love what you do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, or embrace the suck.
Yep.
Everything you have. Embrace the suck. The only way out's through.
That's fair.
Can that lion play DE? Can we talk that little lion that you got?
He's a little undersized. He's a little undersized for defensive end. Maybe a speed rusher. James Houston coming off the edge. They did have some big old ones down there, but like I said, I just had to get this one. She's going to rip this apart in 2 days. I'm going to find its legs all over the place. That's why I got her the super strong Durahide one that she can have for a while. But I love this little lion. It's got a squeaker.
We're going to let it play out. Levi has been getting some reps at defensive end. Obviously, Pat O'Connor comes in. I think this is a situation where, Mac, the answer lies within. I know a lot of times people look and say, well, maybe there's an answer out beyond the walls. I think now I'm kind of looking at this, and Mac and Spenny, I'd love to get your thoughts. I think the answer lies and eventually will come from within. They're going to have one of these guys step up and say, you know what, obviously it's rotation, we know that, but one of these guys need to step up and say, this is my gig right now. This is what I want to do. I don't think the answer comes from outside the walls. I think it's inside the castle.
No, I think, and that's what they've created to get everybody there to for lack of a better term, fight it out or to see what they have, just like we were talking about the nickel position competition. And there's availability there. So to me, obviously with Hutch staying healthy, getting it, but and it could be by committee to help him out in different ways. You still, if we're talking about the defensive end position, you still got James Houston, you still got other guys. How are they going to use Davenport? How are they going to, what schemes are they going to come up with and different things? To me, it's all about units, right? It's that D-line unit. I don't care if it's tackles, the ends, whatever. It's that linebacker unit. It's that defensive back unit. How do the units individually operate, and then, boom, how do they mesh together? Because I think the mesh, the way that they, not specifically somebody that's there comes out and shines and then here's the next guy, it's the committee that does it, and it's defense by committee, and we're getting into that because that's what all great defenses are.
No doubt about it. And Spinney, I'm telling you, one of the things that every year there's value to be had off the scrap heap. Yeah. I don't care what anybody says. And I'm not saying that you're going to come in and you're going to get a stud and you're going to get an integral piece or something like that. But, Mac, you know as well as I do, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Mm-hmm. And you know what? This is what I'm looking at. Okay, let's use Levi. Let's use Pat O'Connor. Maybe somebody is out there that can come in and get some reps and be part of that rotation.
And we've seen Brad Holmes do this already with guys like Kaminsky, guys like Josh Reynolds that other teams cut and didn't want, and he brings them in here, and they have a essential role of this team. That's why he kept some of that cap space to the side. So when good teams have to cut players, they're normally pretty good players that you can bring in here and hopefully make a difference.
All right, we are once again at Premier Pet Supply in Livonia. 5 in Merriman. Come out and say hello. Mac has a question about Patrick Kane when we come back. We want to talk a little bit about Lucas Raymond. Hey, listen.
We're talking hockey. Sean and I together the next 30 minutes. So get your hockey fix in. So
twist my arm.
Somebody tell Tammy.
Then we'll see you later. But if you do, come back.
But first, let me tell you about the best morning show in the country, and that is Wake Up Woodward, live 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., only on the Woodward Sports Network. It's got Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, KG, JB, Juices. It's got an all-star squad, so make sure you guys tap in to the Woo Crew, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd to the 25th in Warwick Hills. Leave the golf to the pros, but don't miss the party at 17. $2 birdie beers, concerts, and more. Get your tickets at allychallenge.com. Brought to you by Randy Wise Automotive. Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
All right, welcome back. Once again, we are live out here at Premier Pet Supply in Livonia. Darren McCarty, Sean Baligian in for Neil Rule. A couple Red Wing things that we want to get into. Mac, I want to get into your topic before I ask about what the ceiling is for Lucas Raymond, because I think this is an important question, and you have to understand what type of player Lucas Raymond is before you make some bombastic kind of prognostications. But, Darren, I'm going to tell you point blank, I was surprised that Patrick Kane came back. I was, especially his exit interview. I kind of thought to myself, okay, hey, it worked, but, maybe this dude's going to find the grass is greener on the other side. He's going to get himself a big contract, whatever the case. Sometimes, the smart move isn't chasing where the money is.
Well, my question to you, right, was when he re-signed, and obviously the speculation was that Steve Eisman didn't want to sign him to a multi-year deal or whatever. So the speculation in the summer is that we all thought the hockey in the know people thought it wasn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. But then when it did happen, here's my thing. With what he said, with what his comment was, right? Did that land at all anywhere with you? Because to me, speaking on the culture side or what they're building in the locker room lets me know it's deeper than even what I think to them in the bigger picture. Everybody, when the guy next to you is more important than you are to yourself. This is a bigger play problem. And now, here's the thing, because you said it yesterday. He's got a lot of tread on the tire. The big thing is he's going into an off season where he can fully train. He's going to be even better, in my opinion, next year because he will be even more healthier than last year. So to me, it's something that it just sparked, but it was his comment. And I don't remember specifically, but paraphrasing it about this is when he says, no, this is the only place I wanted to be.
Isn't that amazing?
How did that hit you?
It hit me knowing Patrick Kane from way back when, because again, this is a guy that he played for a machine in the OHL. Dale Hunter's done a fantastic job with the London Knights. He saw what an organization should look like, okay? He had multiple Stanley Cups with Chicago, okay? And they had a tight-knit group. I know there were other issues, but that core was a tight-knit group. He was in New York. That's a big statement coming from a guy like Patrick Kane, who's been around winning culture and has been around, those core group of guys, Mac. That really screams to me.
And could have been a hired gun in a lot of other places to get over the edge, but instead, right, is more, would you say he's more with the contract that he signed and whatever, betting on himself, but also, too, to me, this was his team-friendly. You know how we back in the day used to be like the hometown discount or whatever like that? That, to me, that's what it felt like, because it always had to be the guys had to agree to fit in to where they had to be salary-wise. To me, this was just such a bigger, adult, mature organization move for a team that hasn't been a playoff team. But not only because of the pedigree of a guy saying, no, this is the right place to be. This is the growth, and because of everything else around it. To me, he's betting on what he sees around him. It's not on him. It's about, okay, and I can be an integral part, which he's proven at different times. So, to me, I don't know. you're one of the guys where I can get the reference of, am I reading this correctly?
No.
Like it's a bigger move than even anybody sees just because of the impact and because Patrick Kane did everything Patrick Kane even before signing, even with his exit interview. Not saying much. That's the way he is. He's like Stevie. He's close to the vest. And then to open up his true feelings after it gotten done, I don't know. To me, that's something.
I've always felt I never liked the term hometown discount. I never have. I've never liked the term hometown discount. Who the hell am I to tell Darren McCarty or Patrick Kane or anybody from that matter what's in their best interest? I just don't. It's not right. Do I want Darren McCarty to stay here? Do I want Patrick Kane to stay here? Yes. But if the guy across the street is saying, Patrick, listen, he's giving you 2 years at this, we're giving you 2 years at that. Come on. Whatever. Best of luck, dude. Do what's best for you. I don't know your family situation. I don't know your financial situation. But when a guy does that on his own, and I'm going to use your former teammate, the perfect human, as an example. Nick Lidstrom was a guy that could have gone anywhere for max contract, even late in his career. You got to remember, this is a guy that was still winning Norris trophies. This is a guy that was still, near the top of the heap. And Nick Lidstrom was like, yeah, cool, pay me $4 million. Why? Because it was in the best interest of the team. It was in the best interest to say, all right, that extra money, well, we can go get this or we can go get that. I always go back to 01-02, okay? You know the story better than anybody. Ken Holland approached some of the key players on the Detroit Red Wing team, coming off a disappointing loss against the LA Kings the previous playoff, and said, guys, I got a chance to get Duchesne. I got a chance to get Hasek. I got a chance to get Robitaille. I got a chance to really make a mark and put together a super team. I don't have a lot of room. What are the chances you giving back? Mac, every guy he asked gave back. Mm-hmm. Every single guy he asked gave back. And then you wonder why that team was a special team that so many people, like we talked about yesterday, said, okay, like Wayne Gretzky said, I never played for the 01-02 Red Wings. So for Patrick Kane to say that speaks a lot louder than another guy, because this is a guy that has been around championship pedigree and has been around great rooms. And I think he knows there's something good that's going on here. And I'm not going to say that's going to translate into a Stanley Cup this year or anything, but the dude knows the C word, Mac. He knows culture.
Yeah. And that was the biggest. So I wanted to bring that was the one question and I wanted to talk to you about and get your opinion on it. But yeah, so.
What did you guys think? I'm going to ask both of you guys. What did you think of do you know what I thought of Patrick Kane? He still had, as Max said, he still had a lot of tread on his tires.
Yeah.
He still was, a guy that made the big play in the big moment. Mm-hmm. But to me, at the end of the season, you know what he looked like? He looked like a guy that wasn't out of gas yet, but he needed to go to the gas station.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks to what Mac was talking about. There's a big difference between being in shape and being in game shape. Mm-hmm. And everything this guy had gone through and coming back from the injury, now give him a full off season to train.
Exactly.
Do people understand, okay, that there's certain injuries that nag you for years? Mm-hmm. I blew my ankle out chasing an icing with Jeff Norton, went in feet first, didn't break my ankle, but blew the ligaments
Jeff
out,
Norton.
whatever like this.
Wow.
It took a year and a half for me not to feel it, no matter what I did to even walk. And I know a lot of people have got that bump or have sprained it in different ways, but so you know what that feeling is. There's injured shoulders. Separated shoulder, stuff like this, and getting hit. That's the biggest thing for me, is that not only engaged as he is, but also to purpose that he's got, but also to being able to train this full off season. So we are going to get even better, I believe, Patrick Kane next year.
I agree.
Which he's not the catalyst of this team. Right, but he is that piece that makes everything
probably going to be on
so
the
much
second
better.
line.
Yeah,
and you look at it, and obviously the injury that he had That's a death sentence for most people. And with those hips, man, I mean, I don't got to tell you guys, it's all the chugging and getting down there and moving on the ice. It comes from the hips, and he did
Hips
look
don't
like
lie.
hips don't lie. He did look like at the end of the year that he was feeling it a little bit, but this isn't the Mike Modano for the Red Wings. This isn't the Daniel Alfredsson for the Red Wings. Like, he still got it. Patrick Kane is still Patty Kane out there. We saw it last year in spurts. And like you said, give him a full year to recover, give him a full offseason to train and get ready. And I expect him to make some plays next year.
The NHL's 4-on-4 in overtime was created for a guy like Patrick Kane.
Yes.
And the shootout.
It's Patrick Kane. You want Patrick Kane in those situations.
100%.
I mean, it's just and it was a smart signing. And, boy, I think back to all the people that
And look at the price point. You can't beat it.
Max,
the first thing is you go, it's a steal. And so the fact, even the price point that you got him, that you got him at now.
From day one, Mac, I could not understand the people that were losing their mind when he was brought on. For the life of me, I couldn't understand it. No. And what do you have to lose? Where's the loss in this? If it doesn't pan out, what did you lose?
Nothing.
You didn't lose anything.
You brought in a guy who's got Stanley Cup experience, the greatest American hockey player of all time. Like, that and alone is something to hang your head on, even if he didn't score a goal.
Let's say that all the worry warts were right, and you can't shave the hip and have him come back. Okay, well, cool. What did you lose?
Nothing.
You didn't give up anything. It wasn't a mad contract. That was one of the more irrational angers.
I couldn't believe that.
It was really weird. Sometimes I make the mistake. Sometimes I try to speak rationally to irrational people. As I get older, I realize that just doesn't work. But that was one of those conversations. I was like, okay, you're right. Let's pretend you're right. And in a month, Patrick Kane, it's over. He announces his retirement. How does that hurt the Detroit Red Wings?
Doesn't at all.
Didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Nothing but positives out of that. All right, I want to talk about, Mac, what you're seeing out of Lucas Raymond and what a legitimate ceiling can be for Lucas Raymond. And I'm keying on the word legitimate ceiling because let's remember what type of player he is, shall we? We'll discuss that when we come back. Once again, we're at Premier Pet Supply in Livonia. So glad you can join us on Woodward Sports.
And let me tell you about Mark White, because if you're dreaming of buying a new home but feeling the financial pinch, Mark White & Associates will help you by paying up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Mark White & Associates, call them today at 248-290-8242 or visit them online at markwhitesells.com. Again, that is 248-290-8242. It's Mark White.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around. Who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of. And guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! KDK Law will help you if you're dealing with divorce, family, or any of that custody issue stuff. Kevin and Catherine in Birmingham are here to help you. Scan this QR code right above my head, and they will pay your filing fee. You can go to kdklawoffice.com or just visit them in Birmingham. It's Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law. They should be your first call.
All right, welcome back in. Premier Pet Supply in Livonia. Mac, I have a running joke with one of my friends. The quickest way for me to have zero interest in talking hockey to you is if I ask you about Sidney Crosby and you say something like he's overrated, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, and I just go, hey, cool, nice chatting with you, and I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I hate Sidney Crosby. He is by far the best player of my generation.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, or if they say, oh, he's such a whiner and stuff, yeah, that was when I retired, 2008, 9.
Yeah.
The evolution of him as the face of the league, and I get pissed off watching his games and the abuse he takes.
It's phenomenal.
Like, he is everything you want in leading this league, Spenny, and that's just calling the spade a spade.
And
when Jimmy Howard put him in a headlock, that was one of my favorite moments ever. But the guy is an absolute machine.
Love watching him play. I can't stress that enough.
And he's so big.
It is like total hockey player, and the little things that he does, you just you drool. And my buddies,
how his backhand is just as fast as his forehand. Like
my buddies, oh, here we go with Crosby again, and I'm like, because you can't say enough about the guy. And so there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. Okay, if you're one of those guys like the Lucas Raymond that we saw late in the season, in particular those 2 games against the Habs to end the season.
Yeah,
dude said, scruff of the neck like your puppy, you're coming with me. Mm-hmm. I'm your mother. I'm grabbing you by the scruff of the neck, and I am going to take you where we need to go. That evolution. The concern that I have, Darren, the concern that I have, Spenny and Justin, okay, is the same thing that I brought up about Sidney Crosby. If you're looking at Lucas Raymond's game and expecting to look near the top of the league, scoring leaders and stuff like that, you're going to be woefully disappointed.
Yeah.
You know what I want to see? I want to see what I saw in those last couple games. Mm-hmm. When they need him, I'm going to pop 3 or 4 points in. But, Mac, the total game is what I want to see out of Lucas Raymond.
He's got, he's got the potential and where he's got to evolve into being a Braden Point. Mm-hmm. Into being like that. He is, yes, he's a guy that you can say expectations, healthy 30 goals because he's proven it, but it's that leader. It's that compete.
Bam.
The guys, you don't just look at points for that. You look at him to lead guys into the battle with his compete and leadership. That's the biggest thing. I think the biggest thing out of the late season when Larkin was out and stuff like this, we're looking for guys to step up, and everybody goes, well, Kane didn't step up into Brinkett or whatever, but you know who did? It was Lucas Raymond. Did everything that he could, but there is a maturation. And how do I say this? And this is the biggest thing, and I mentioned to Spenny when I saw this, and I brought this up before. When they went to the World Juniors, they started handing out letters for Team Sweden, and Lucas Raymond and Victor Hedman is the captain, just like Nick Lidstrom would be back in the day.
Yep.
But when they handed out an assistant captain to Lucas Raymond, if you don't sit back and go, whoa, geez, and that's how his country, right, and everything else looks at this guy as that leader. They just don't hand that stuff up. So to me, it's more of in the maturation of leadership as a Henrik Zetterberg, different player.
You got it.
But the one thing that Henrik Zetterberg did, he led with his compete level, with whatever he had every time he was out there. And I see the similarities to that, the engine,
yes.
the confidence, the belief, and the compete level. That's what we need. The goals that he stays healthy. Because what did he do last year?
31.
He got bigger, right? He put that 10 pounds on, and then he figured out. And here's the thing. Just because you do it, you got to figure out how you're new you. It's just like anything else. Spenny, you've been hitting the gym for the last year and stuff like this. What's today?
Today's shoulders.
Today's shoulder day or whatever like this. But you look at the this version of Spenny compared to a year ago's version of Spenny, whatever. You still have to learn how to, and I see the discipline with your salad, the discipline with everything else, but it's a change.
Yeah.
So he took last year to evolve into it. Now is the big, like what we're seeing, like you said, is real. And now we look for him to lead in that way. It's more of a Zetterberg leadership where you don't look at the points. Yes, he could be a point-per-game guy. When you need it, he's a guy that you have to look to. Hey, who's going to get this goal? Yes, this is everything. But when you look at it from the big picture, that's how the hockey world sees him.
You're picking up what I'm feeding off. And by the way, Spenny looked into his crystal ball last summer and said, I'm a Greyhound. I know I'm going to have to get bigger and stronger to take on Carl Racky in North Bay. So that's why he did what he. Racky's tough. You don't want anything. Look, when you're 19 years old and you got a full beard of a 60-year-old man, you don't want to deal with that. Mac, you get what I'm picking up, okay? Can Lucas Raymond have those games? Yeah, we saw it. We saw him take those 2 games with everything on the line against the Habs. We saw him take over. We saw him put up those numbers. We saw him get those clutch things. But if you're one of those guys that you're scoreboard chasing or stat chasing, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
This isn't a guy that you're going to see up there with Panarin, okay? But I'll tell you what, when the playoffs start, when I go to war, I'll take Lucas Raymond over Panarin 101 days out of 100. I want that guy. This goes back to what we talked about yesterday. You go in the corner with 6 eggs, you better come out with yolk all over you, right? Yeah. Panarin ain't even going to the damn corner, so he'll stay up at the line waiting for the outlet pass.
Eggs. I don't like eggs.
Yeah, right? I don't like eggs. I'm going to stay out here. I bake my bread. And he's the type of guy. He's the type of guy that sits back and what do you need me to do? And that's what I like about Lucas Raymond's game, and I think that's what makes him such an integral and irreplaceable part of this franchise moving forward.
You know what the big thing, I just thought of this too, is that you watch Tarasenko, who we signed in the offseason, when he got traded to win a cup and be a support, more of a support player. I think that it's sort of having that education in the locker room about the evolution of his game is that he can help Lucas along. Because what he did for Florida was he didn't have to be the guy, but he had to fill in and scored some big goals at some big times. That's what you want from Lucas Raymond.
Loved that deal for that very reason the day that it happened. Tarasenko is not at the point anymore where he can be the man. You know what? Have him come in and be a part. Have him come in and be that dude that said, hey, I had a front row seat. The Blues were an atrocity amongst the nations.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden things got right and we ended up winning a Stanley Cup. Boys, you can do the same thing.
I love it. I love the experience that you brought in with Tarasenko and Kane. Stanley Cup. You got Tarasenko, who's done it in both facets. He did it as the guy when he was in St. Louis. He was the guy. He was going out there. He was the man. And then, like you said, in Florida, he was just a complimentary piece. So he can teach these younger guys, you got to know your role. You got to fill your role. And looking at Lucas Raymond, like D-Mac said, he put on at 10, 15 pounds of muscle. He's going in forechecking. He's going in there on the dump and chase and putting his nose against the boards and taking the puck away from people. And that picture of him standing up there with Hedman and with Carlson, and he's got the A on his chest, I was like, all right, that tells you, like, that's what his country thinks about him.
A dude like Tarasenko, too, you know what? I've heard a lot of people say he's not the same player that he was 5 years ago, and he's not. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
You know what doesn't go away? The fact that he's a tank, and the shot is always the last thing to go.
Yep.
And my man
Absolutely.
can let her go.
He can still rip it, just like you could rip it on the golf course. If you want it, how would you like to play the University of Michigan golf course with Braylon Edwards? Yes, it's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today, and you could round off the foursome at woodwardsports.com or scan the code on the screen when it comes to your next car or truck. Make the wise decision. Randy Wise Automotive.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit, the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports. They offer youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches have been trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheerleading at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included for all for a chance to play at a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
Oh, put her there, gang. So listen, Mac, I want to give you some love again. The Insane Rumble tonight in Monroe.
Oh, yeah.
The Insane Rumble tonight in Monroe.
Yeah, IWR. Monroe.
30-man battle royal. Is that how it goes?
You know what? I haven't looked at the roster, but yeah, I'm picking a few names out of there. Hopefully, I get a late draw, so I don't have to spend that much time in the ring.
What was the one when we were little? Was it Bad News Brown won the one where he ghetto blasted everybody? Do you remember Bad News Brown? I know what a wrestling fan Janelle here is. Do you remember Bad News Brown?
I do remember the name.
Yeah, I think didn't he win the first? I think he won the first battle royal, right? And he, man, the ghetto blaster. I didn't want anything to do with that. I kind of like my neck the way it is.
I remember my friend put another one of my friends in the walls of Jericho. His back hasn't been the same since. Like he got him with it pretty good.
Yeah, the moves aren't supposed to be done. They are for effect. There are tricks to the trade. So you don't get hurt. The object is to not hurt. Do you know that in wrestling, the object is to take care of your opponent and to go home and wrestle the next day? It's not to kill him. I don't know if you knew that or not. It's to make it look like
he sunk the walls deep.
I always wanted to give somebody a DDT and then go to my bag and just fire a snake on him. I mean, can you the ultimate, like, first of all, I just knocked you out cold. Like, I gave you a DDT. Isn't that enough in regards to humiliation? Yeah. No. Then I reached the bag, and I pulled Damien out. Like, that, I took your soul when that happens, because now you're knocked out, and you have this snake crawling all over you, man.
My brother used to put me in the Cobra clutch and walk me around the house. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
You don't want to be in that or the full Nelson.
No.
You know what? I hope there's some footage. I wish I had nothing going on tonight because I'd get down.
I'm sure there will be.
Those are fun shows,
send
dude.
some Spenny's way.
Hell yeah.
Those are fun shows. Have a blast tonight.
They are a great time.
Yeah,
they are a great time. They draw a great crowd.
You live life, dude. Like,
Absolutely.
seriously, you live life. People have to say that about Darren McCarty. You live life, and I give you a tip of the cap for that, man. That's what it's all about.
I try.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right, anything else before we get out of here?
I'm good, Spenny.
I'm good.
All right.
Jesus? Anything?
You
no?
sure? There's nothing out of you? Nothing out of you? You've been kind of quiet today.
He doesn't have a mic.
Well, maybe.
There we go. We figured it out.
Hey, can't thank our staff enough for setting this all up. It's not easy to do these shows on the road. Thank you, fellas, so much. The great people here at Premier Pet Supply in Livonia. I'm serious. Fantastic. Customer appreciation. Smiles everywhere. Get out here. Take care of your pups.
Yeah, again, I just wanted to thank them because I went in there and I got some stuff for Holly. Got the lion, got the duck heads. You get a free goodie bag. You get your name put in the raffle, and you get a bunch of money off. Like, come down and get your stuff.
I'm on my way to get Princess Penelope. I don't know what I'm going to get her, but remember, when it comes to your animals, give my Steve a call.
No doubt about that. All right.
Have a great day.
Take care. We'll see you.